Hey guys, good morning. We're going to take a look at Zechariah 9 today. And I think as you can start seeing, we're entering a different part of Zechariah's writings and teachings here. For the last few chapters, you're going to see there's a lot of reference and a lot of pointing towards Jesus and towards God of restoration, God of hope, God protecting, and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good little study, fun little study to finish out here soon. But the thing I want to mention is that we take a look at, as we're looking at these next few chapters, and we see all the revelation that has, all of the prophecy that has already been fulfilled. You know, it should give us great hope for the rest of the Bible that so much of it is so true, even though it hasn't happened yet. You know, so as we start studying these next few chapters, and when we see, prophecy of Christ being fulfilled, let that sink in and let that give you some hope. But I took out of chapter 9 today here. I saw a couple things here. The first portion, my Bible titles it Israel defended against enemies. And then the next portion is the coming king. The next portion is God will save his people. Israel being defended against its enemies, I see as God protecting. We take a look at verse 4. It says, "Behold, the Lord will cast her out. He will destroy her power in the sea, and she will be devoured by fire." And this is Tyre coming against Israel. This is God protecting his people. Okay, this is proof of God protecting his people. He says in verse 8, "I will camp around my house. No more shall an oppressor pass through them. For now I have seen with my eyes." And this is God showing us. This is God pouring out his affection on, I am your protector. Go down into verse 9. We see how God provides. He's talking about Jesus, the coming king. He says he is just in having salvation. God has provided salvation for us. It's our job to accept it or not. You see, salvation is not just Jesus's job. Jesus has provided every portion, every part of salvation that he needed to. Well, you know what? We need to confess with our mouths, and we need to believe in our hearts that it is true. And then when we die, we shall be saved. We have a portion in this as well, but God has provided his portion. And just on a side note, it finishes with lowly and riding on a donkey, a colt, a foal of a donkey. This is pointing towards Jesus. Jesus is, that triumphant day when he comes into Jerusalem, that Palm Sunday. We celebrate Palm Sunday, that day. But this, 518, 520 BC is pointing towards 500 years early before Christ came. Understand, here is Zechariah pointing towards it. And God restores. You see, God says in verse 12 that I will restore double to you. You see, he is the one to give it all back. The enemy will steal. The enemy will manipulate good parts of your life away from you. He really will. That's just what he does. He is the father of lies. He is the master of thieves. And God says, I will restore double to you. So God provides, God protects, God restores. But we need to have faith, and we need to have hope, and we need to have love. We need to have faith that he is who he says he is, and that he will do what he says he will do. We need to have hope that it's for us as well, that it is for each one of us. And we need to have love. We need to love him not because he can do these things, but because he is these things. I was able to prophesy to a young lady this weekend as God instructed me, simply tell her God is the healer. Not God can heal. Not God will heal. See, God wanted to be lifted up because he is the healer. And because we submit ourselves to that, then he is able to heal in us. But when we come to him and just say, God, heal me, God, heal me, God, heal me, then we're coming to him as our magical genie. And that's not who he is. That's not who he wants. He wants that personal relationship. As I've been just preaching and preaching and preaching. And I preach till the day I die. He wants that personal relationship to know that he is all these things. He wants that relationship because he is all these things. Not because you want him to be all these things. I love you all, and I hope you have a super day.